Hello, today I'm going to be summarizing an article called Increased Dopamine Tone During Meditation-Induced Change of Consciousness. So meditation is really commonly associated with this altered state of consciousness, and this study is going to be looking at whether or not dopamine is involved with that. So our researchers are looking at two different aspects of consciousness. They're looking at consciousness of sensation and consciousness of our drive and our will to act. They're specifically using yoga nidra meditation, which is a technique that is really commonly used for issues with sleep and relaxation. It is all about letting go of stress and anxiety and really coming into focus on your sensations, your breathing, your body. It's a really common theme in yoga nidra to ask, what does it mean to be conscious? So in a study about altered states of consciousness, this particular meditation method is going to be really effective for the study. So our researchers are hypothesizing that the voluntarily induced suppression of the executive system during relaxation meditation could be mediated by the dopaminergic system. What they define as the executive system is several parts of the brain, really specifically the prefrontal regions, thalamus, brainstem, cerebellum, striatum. Several parts of these form what they call loops that are responsible for motivation and initiative. And these loops pass through a really specific part of the brain in the basal ganglia called the ventral striatum. The ventral striatum is known to be involved with movement and also reward. So they are going to test whether or not dopamine is involved with these altered states of consciousness during yoga nidra meditation. They're going to take 8 meditation teachers aged 31 to 50. They have a minimum of 7 years of experience meditating on a daily basis. They're going to do PET scans on these teachers. One PET scan is going to be with them practicing meditation while listening to a audio CD, like a guided meditation audio CD. And the next one, they are going to be rested and listening to a speech in the same voice. While they're doing those PET scans, they are going to be injecting the subjects with 11C relactopride to look at the binding potential to those dopaminergic receptors. To have our hypothesis proven, they want to see a decrease in those binding potentials because it means that there is a endogenous release of dopamine occurring. So after they're done doing those PET scans, they do some MRIs and EEGs just looking at brain activity and making sure that it correlates with past research done on yoga nidra meditation and making sure it's going to correlate with the evidence we find in our PET scans. And after they're done with all the scans, they're going to have the participants complete a questionnaire about their pleasure, their relaxation, how well they think the meditation went, how much it was like what they did at home, the quality and the depth. So once they get all of their data together, we do find that there is a statistically significant decrease in binding potential. There is only this decrease in the ventral striatum, which was our target that we were looking at, and the decrease was 7.9%. So that did prove to us that there was dopamine being released into the ventral striatum, and that was influencing those altered states of consciousness. The EEGs and MRIs correlated to our findings in the PET scans, and the questionnaires did show that the majority of participants felt like they did have those altered states of consciousness, that losing that drive for action, and also an increase in sensation, specifically visual imagery. So what's really cool about this study is that it does show us that dysfunction in the ventral striatum or dysfunction in those loops can potentially cause a lot of issues, like with movement, with apathy, with trouble with emotion, trouble with drive and motivation. But even more importantly, to quote what the researchers themselves say, to our knowledge, this is the first time evidence has been provided for regulation of conscious states at a synaptic level. So this is really cool because it shows for the first time that those altered states of consciousness can be seen in neurotransmitters, but also that we have voluntary control over them. Anyway, thanks for watching.